Hello dear students, welcome to the computer class of standard 9. Today we are going to begin our chapter 3 input and output devices. So before starting this chapter we will get the quick revision about the input and output. We all know that computer is an electronic device and to interact with the computer or if we want to perform some of the task with the computer, we have to give first instruction to the computer that what it has to do. So the instruction or the data that we are giving to the computer is known as a input. Then after, what is output? So once the data is given to the computer will process on that data and then after it will generate the result. So the result that we are getting from the computer is known as an output. Now what are the input and output devices? Means the physical components that helps us to give the data to the computer and to return back the result from the computer. That devices are known as an input and output devices. It is also known as an I/O devices and peripherals. So remember this one, what is the another name of input output devices? That is the I/O devices or peripheral devices. These input and output devices are the means of communication between the user and the computer. Means this is the medium. How we can interact with the computer? With the input and output devices only, because if the input devices are there, then only we can give instruction to the computer, and if output devices are there, then only we can see the result that is generated by the computer. So this is the basic medium between us and between the computer. So this is just the basic things about input and output input-output devices. Now we will talk about input devices. So an input devices is a device that provides input to our computer, that we have already discussed. Now the most common input devices are the keyboard and mouse. From the beginning we are learning that the computer has 4 basic components, that is monitor, mouse, CPU and keyboard. So in that the mouse and keyboard, these are the input devices, and any movement that you are doing either with the keyboard or mouse, that gives the input signal to our computer. So besides the keyboard and mouse, some other input devices are also there that we are going to discuss in this chapter, and that is already listed out over here. So now we will see that one, the list of input devices, that is keyboard, point and row devices, electronic card based devices, speech recognition devices and vision based devices. So now let's just discuss about each of these input devices in a brief. So our first input device that we are going to discuss, that is keyboard. So the keyboard is the most popular and commonly used input device, and that is made up with the more than 100 keys. More than 100 keys are available, and that is divided into the different groups. Means each key has a special use. Here we have the keyboard image also that I will show you later. Here the keyboard is also known as a text based input device. What it means? Means you can give the textual information through the keyboard. If you want to write your name, if you want to write some numbers, if you want to display some of the digits, some of the symbols, then these are the textual data you can write with the keyboard. So the keyboard generally contains the keys as follows. So the first one keys are available, that is the alphabetic keys, A to Z keys. Then after digits, that is from 0 to 9, some of the mathematical operators like plus, minus, multiplication, etc., punctuation marks and signs. So these are included into the numerical keys. Then after next is the function keys. Function keys, that we have 12 function keys we are having, that is from F1 to F12, and each function key has a specified task that is assigned to them. So basically you can say that is the one type of shortcut to perform any action. So with the help of function keys we can perform the data very or the action very fastly. Suppose F1 is there, so F1 key has assigned the help feature. Means when you will press the F1 key, you will get help about any of the software. Then after enter key. Enter key is used for the execution of any instruction or action. If you are performing something and when you will press the enter key, the execution of that instruction will happen. Then next is the space bar key. It is used to give the space between the words or alphabets or characters. Next is the backspace key. It is used to move cursor one position back from its current position. And along with that you can remove the characters even with the help of backspace key. But remember that when you are removing the character with the help of backspace key, it will remove the character from the left side of its cursor position. Then after next is the delete key. Delete key is a character or an object at the right side of the cursor position. Means it will delete the character from the right side of a cursor position. So you can say with the help of backspace also you can remove characters, with the help of delete also you can remove characters. But backspace will remove the character from the left side of the cursor position and delete will remove the characters from the right side of the cursor position. Next is the shift key. Shift key is useful to type any capital letters and characters, or you can type the symbols that is located on the upper side of a key. Any special characters like a hashtag, $sign, @ like this. So that you can print with the help of shift key. Means first you have to press the shift key and then after you have to press the key on which that special character has been drawn. Next is the caps lock key. Caps lock key is useful to type the characters in the capital letter. Tab key. Tab key moves the cursor to the next tab position for the indentation. Means here with the space bar you can give the single space, but with the help of tab key you can give the multiple space there. Next is the control. Control key, that is used in the conjunction with the other keys to provide additional functionality. Means for the additional functionality the shortcut keys we are using. So control is used as the shortcut key. Alter is also just like that, used in the combination with the other keys to perform the specific task. Then after escape key, to cancel or abort executing. Means if you want to stop something then you can use the escape key. So these are the keys are available on a keyboard. Then after the next is the cursor movement keys, means the arrow keys. So that will allow you to move your cursor in the specific direction, means on the top, bottom, left and right side. And here you can see this is the image of a keyboard. So our keys are divided into the 4 types, that is the alphanumeric keys, cursor keys, numeric keypad and function keys, and then after the special purpose keys. So which are the special purpose keys? That is the shift, backspace, delete, space bar, this escape, enter. This all are known as a special purpose key. So I hope you understood about the keyboard, our first input device well. Thank you students. Hello students. Now we are going to discuss the next category of device, input device, that is a point and draw device. In the keyboard, we are giving the textual information through the multiple keys. But here, instead of typing, we can do the selection only with the help of the pointing devices. Means one graphical arrow is there on our screen and one device is there. So in the direction you are moving the device, on the same direction the arrow will be moved on your screen, and you can perform the selection. Means you can place that arrow on a particular position and then after you can perform the selection operation. So this type of things, means the selection with the help of point and row devices, it's possible only on a graphical user interface in a GUI. In the GUI interface, all the things are visible in the form of icons and menus. So through the point and row device, you can easily point to a particular location. So not only to select, but drawing of line, curve and shapes is also possible with the search devices. Means when you are working with the paint program, so in the paint program, this point and draw devices will help you to draw a different shapes. The other example of point and draw devices are the joystick, light pen, touchpad or track ball and touch screen. So these are the example of point and draw devices. Now first we will discuss about the mouse. So mouse is a very small device and that we can use on a flat surface. The direction you are moving the mouse, in the same direction the arrow will move on your screen. So mouse is a small device and used to point a particular place on the screen and select it order to perform one or more action. Here in the figure 3.2 you can see the mouse image. It can be used to select menu commands, resize windows, selecting actions from screen icons, etc. So as I told you, in the GUI window all the things are available in the form of menus and icons, and windows are also there. So means whenever you are opening any software, that will be open in the different windows. So you can resize that window size even with the help of mouse. So the typical mouse actions are as follows. By default, the most of the mouse has the 2 or 3 buttons. Here also in this image you can see the mouse has the 3 buttons. One is the left button, that is basically used to perform all the actions. Then after right button, and in the middle you can see one wheel is there, that is known as a scroll button. So first left click. So left click is used to do the selection of any item. So first you have to move the arrow. Suppose you want to open the notepad, then first you have to place your mouse pointer on a notepad, and when you will press the left button one time, then you can select the notepad icon. If you want to open notepad program, then you have to press the left button 2 times. Then like this you can open notepad program. So next operation is the double click. So it is used to start the program or open a file or a trigger an action, that I already explained you with the example. Then after right click. So suppose you want to personalize something, you want to change the themes and all the things whatever is there in your computer, then by right clicking, when you will press the right click, it will open the context menu. So that contains several options, several commands, so you can perform any action from that contextual menu. Next is the drag and drop. Suppose you want to move your notepad icon from one place to another place. So that is possible with the help of drag and drop operation. It will allow you to select your icon and just by pressing your left mouse button continuously. Press the left mouse button continuously and take it from the one place to another place. Then you can move that icon from one place to another place very easily. Once you reach there at the destination location, then after only you have to release your left mouse button. So that is known as the drag and drop operation. Next is the scroll. So many times many application provides the scroll bars on which side, on the right side of the screen, if the page length is more than the monitor screen length. Means if your monitor screen is not sufficient to show the whole page at a time, then on the right hand side it will show you the scroll bar. So instead of using the page down key or arrow keys, you can use the scroll key of a mouse to scroll up or down. So here in the image you can see that at the center the circle is there. That is the scroll bar also you can use to for the page up and down. Or either if the scroll key is not available, you can click on the scroll bar on the application screen with the left button of your mouse. So like this, these are the actions you can perform with the mouse. That is the left click, double click, right click, drag and drop and scroll. Then after the next device is a joystick. So joystick is a vertical stick which moves the graphical cursor in a direction of the stick when the stick is moved. So here you can see the image of joystick is available, figure 3.3. So one stick is there at the center. You can see it is just like a stand and vertical stick is there. So in which direction you are moving the stick, on the same direction the graphical arrow will be moved on the screen. And here you can see at the top of the stick some buttons are there. So these buttons are used to perform the selection operation. So once your mouse pointer is reached at the particular position, you can press that button to do the selection. So joystick is used as an input device, primarily used with the video games, training simulators, controlling robots, and for this purpose only we are using. And so many earlier we played the video games. So the remotes are, if you will imagine that remotes, or if you remember the remote, then that remotes are just like a joystick. Means vertical sticks are coming, and in the direction you will move that sticks, the same direction the action will happen in your game. So in this purpose, for this purpose is the joystick input device is used. So I hope you understood this, both the input device mouse and joystick well. Thank you. Hello students. Now we are going to discuss about the scanning devices. What is the use of scanners and how it's helpful? First I will tell you that. So for example, I am telling you that if any important document is there and that you want to store same as in your computer. So that is very difficult to type the document in the same manner, because some official documents are there along with some of the stamps and all the things. Then it is not possible to type the same type of document in a computer. So the another option is there. You can directly store this type of document in the form of image to your computer through the scanner. Yes, means the scanner is one type of device that can store your document in the form of image, and then after you may take the printout of your image, means of your document, and you can share that documents in the one computer to another computer also. So here you can see the figure 3.4 shows you the image scanner. So here you can see in the image the device looks like the photocopier machine. So here in the middle part you have to place your document or your photograph or anything. Then after just you have to give the scan command. So when you will give the scan command, it will start scanning, and then after it will store your photograph or your document in the form of electronic image into your computer. So means what is the basically scanning device doing? So the scanning devices are directly look at the input only and enters the collected data into the computer. So this is the main advantage of using the scanning devices. So this is about the image scanner that I explained. What is the use of it? Some other types of scanners are also there, students, so that we are going to discuss now. First, you just see the image. So this 3.5 image shows very small scanner. So the name of this scanner is the barcode scanner, and the another name of this scanner is also handheld scanner. Means you can see this scanner we can hold in our hand. And now you just try to remember where you have seen this type of scanner. Yes, we have seen this type of scanner in the shopping malls and in the shops. So this barcode scanner is used to encode the barcode. Means the food packets whatever we are purchasing, each and every product has the barcode. So barcode is what first? So barcode is made up of a parallel strings of different thickness. In every food packet, in every packets, the barcode is there. So that is the made up of a parallel strings, and the thickness is the different. And there is a standard coding system called the Universal Product Code. Means with the help of this UPC code, all the barcode has made. Now what this barcode device is doing? Barcode device will encode that barcode, and then after it will convert that UPC format code into the appropriate value. Means what is the price of that particular product, that we can find it out through the barcode scanner. So through the barcode scanner we can directly store that product price into the computer. So how they are generating bills? They are just scanning the barcode through the barcode scanner, and automatically the value will be stored into the computer and the bill will be generated. So this is the use of a barcode reader. And what is the another name? Yes, handheld scanner. So this is about the second type. First is the image scanner, and this one is the barcode scanner. Now the third one scanner type is the optical character reader. So in the optical character reader, some scanners have the facility to recognize the character from the image. Means here we can extract some of the characters from the image. So that is from the scanned image of a character, computer can identify the character. And how it's done? This is done by a matching image of a scanned character with the stored image of a character. Means the one image or one character image that is already stored in your computer, and one you are getting through the scanned document. One is the scanned document and the original you are already having. So now you can do the matching of that image, and particular character you can match very easily with the help of optical character reader. So with this facility, the document image can be converted into a document which can be further modified. So means your document image, what was the document? That I already said that the optical character reader is used to store the documents. So now these documents are stored in the form of document, but that is also editable. Means some of the changes you can make if you want later on. So this type of scanner is known as the optical character reader. Then after, the next image scanner type is the OMR scanner. So this here you can see the image of a OMR sheet, and you also have seen the OMR sheets. It is useful to fill up the answers of a multiple choice question. So here this scanner identify the marks done by a special type of pen or pencil. and this type of scanner is known as a optical mark reader. So remember this one, what is the name of this scanner? That is optical mark reader, OMR. So figure 3.6 that shows us the OMR sheet that consists of answers marked on the sheet for a multiple choice question paper. So whatever the sheet is prepared by you, means the answer is written on the OMR sheet, that are checked by the optical mark reader. So this is the scanners we have discussed. How many types of scanners we have discussed? That is the image scanner, barcode scanner, optical character reader and optical mark reader. 4 types of scanners. Then after the next is a magnetic ink character recognition. MICR technology we are going to discuss. So this magnetic ink character recognition, this is the technology and this is used in the banking industry. So it is used for a faster processing of the checks. Means whenever we are giving the checks, this type of technology, this technology reads the information such as the account number directly from the printed document very fastly. So this MICR codes can be easily read and understood by the humans. Means whatever the code, means MICR code, that allows the reading of information such as account numbers. So that is easily readable by us also. Yes, but the codes that is written in the barcode. So this barcode, it's easy to read but we can't understand. So that is the difference between the MICR. We can easily read and we can even easily understand. But the barcodes we can see and we can read, but we can't understand that what is the content behind it. So here the content is written using the special magnetic ink prepared from the iron oxide, and that is why it is known as a MICR technology. Which ink is used here? Remember that is magnetic ink. Then after the next is the electronic card reader. So this electronic card reader reads the content from a small plastic cards called electronic card. So if I'll give you the example of electronic card, that is our ATM machines and the credit cards and debit cards we are having. So in the so many shopping malls we have visited, and whenever you are paying some of the amount with the help of your debit and credit card, some of the swiping machine is also there and some of the card reader is also there, that is seen over here. You can see the image. So just you have to fix your card inside that card reader and it will get all the information about that card holder. Okay, what is the card holder name, what is the account number, etc. information. So this information can be carried out easily through the electronic card reader, and then after you can pay very easily through that information. So this is about the electronic card reader. Then the last input device we are going to discuss, that is the speech and vision devices. So besides this popular input devices, speech and vision input devices system is also very popular. So here speech input means instead of giving the action or the instruction through the textual information, and instead of the moving or the pointing information, you can directly give the data through your voice. Means all the things will work based on your voice. So here this is known as a speech input. Means suppose you want to develop the system that operates on your voice only. So when you will say some of the things, then only that things will work. So here one example is given, that is instead of entering commands by typing, selecting or scanning, direct voice commands can be given. And consider that you have fully electronic house that opens the door for you when you say khulja sim sim. Means when you will say this one khulja sim sim, then only all the doors will be open in your house. So that is called the speech input. Nowadays we are getting this facility in Google also. In the Google speech input is already there. So whenever we will say something, it will search accordingly. So this is about the speech input. Then after the vision input, that is the basically use, that is the scientific computer based input, that is known as a vision input, and that is used for the robots performing when that performs the risky tasks like driving a plane and performing the surgery, when these things done by the robots. So whatever the information we are giving, that is given by the computer vision input. Such input mechanism is very useful for people who are differently abled and generally finds the difficulties in operating typical computer system. Then after, the camera is also used as an input device. We already knows that one. How? Like in laptops, for the automatic authentication of a user through the facial recognition. Means you have logged in. When I am logged in into the system, we already have the webcam. So if it's my laptop, and if I will sit on the in front of the camera, then only the login screen will come. This type of facilities nowadays available. In our phone also we have the facial recognition. When we will be there in front of the phone, then only our phone will be unlocked. And it is also used for the deciphering the QR codes or reading the barcode. So this is about the speech and vision input. So I hope you understood all the input devices well. That is the mouse, keyboard, joystick, all the scanners, MICR technology, electronic card reader, speech and vision devices. Thank you. Hello students. Now we are going to discuss about the output devices. The computer calculate results must be provided to its user. Means the computer has already done the processing and now the result is ready to show. So the device that helps the computer to show its result to the user, these devices are known as the output devices. The commonly used output devices are monitor and printer. Basically, these two most used output devices, that is the monitor and printer. And as we said that it has the four basic components, computer has the four basic components, that is monitor, mouse, CPU and keyboard. So in the four basic components, monitor is included and monitor is a output device. So following list presents different output devices. So first is a monitor, printer, projector, plotter and voice response. Now one by one we will see that one. So the output devices need to be connected with the computer with or without wires. Yes students, nowadays the technology is enhanced and both the type of devices are available, wireless and wired devices. So means the monitor must be connected with your computer. It must be the part of your computer, then only you can see the output on your screen. So the first output device is a monitor, and monitor are commonly used output devices, and this output is presented on a computer visual, means television like a screen. Here in the image you can see two types of monitors are there. One is that is the heavyweight and the bigger size, and next image you can see that is the very thinnest one monitor. So the monitors are the output devices and it is just used for the viewing purpose. Means here you can just see your result. You can't see, or it is available in the soft copy. Means just you can see it. It is not on the paper. It is not in the form of hard copy. The cathode ray tube, the CRT monitor. So for the first one image you can see the bigger one, or that looks the heavy, that is the CRT monitors, and the another type is the flat monitors, and they are used to display the information. Both these type of monitors are used to display the information, but nowadays most of the peoples are using the flat monitors. So the CRT means the bigger size monitors use the CRT, cathode ray tube technique, and here the flat monitors either use the LCD technique or LED technique. So that is the liquid crystal display. LCD means the liquid crystal display, or they are using the light emitting diodes. So this is about the monitor. What is the use of monitor? It is just useful to see the output of your data in the form of soft copy. Then after the next is a printer. So in the monitor we are having the question, that is we can just see the output in a screen only. We can't print on a paper. So that question is resolved with the help of this device. Yes students. Printers provides the hard copy output, means the output on a paper. So many types of printers are available students. So one by one in this paragraph only we are going to discuss all types of printers. So first, some printers print the content character by character, means one character they will display or they will print. So this type of printer are known as a character printer or a dot matrix printer. So remember that the printer that prints the content character by character is known as a character printer or dot matrix printer. And the characteristics of these printers, that is these printers are cheaper and slow, means it has the less cost, and it is very slow. Why it is slow? Because it prints the content character by character. That is why it will take a time to print the output. Then other printer prints the line by line. Okay, means instead of character, one character, it will print the lines together. One line, second line, like this. So it will print the content line by line. That is why it is known as a line printer. So the second category of printer is the line printers. Then another category of printer print the content by spraying small drops of ink. Such printers are called inkjet printer. Means first it will spray ink on a paper, and then after it will just emboss the character on a paper. So these printers are the inkjet printer, and inkjet printers are slower and costlier than the dot matrix printer. So here the comparison of inkjet is done with the dot matrix. Means dot matrix printer is the faster than inkjet. So the inkjet printer is slower and much costlier than our dot matrix printer. Then the next category type of printer, that is create the image of wall page. Means see, here wall page is printed as a form of image, and then it will print the full page at a time using the laser technology. So this type of printer is called the laser printer, and laser printer are the fastest one. So remember which printer is the fastest printer, that is the laser printer, and which is the costliest also, so that is also laser printer in comparison with our other printers. So here you can see the figure 3.9. This is the figure of a laser printer. So four types of printer we have discussed students, that is the character printer, line printer, inkjet printer and laser printer. I hope you understood this all the categories. So now we will discuss about the projector. Firstly, the projectors are mainly used in the educational institute and in a business sectors. So you might have seen that your teacher projecting teaching material on a wall of your classroom or a whiteboard curtain. Most of the times we are seeing or we have seen the content like this in our school. Some of the difficult topics are there that is difficult to understand, that is explained by our teachers through the help of a projector, so we can understand it well. So output of your computer is projected on a bigger flat surface like a wall or a screen through an output device that is called projector. Means projector represents your monitor content on a wider or on a bigger surface. So what you can present through the projector means the teaching material, that is with the text, with the image, with the sound, with the graph and animation, and that can be prepared and projected on the surface for a better viewing. And so many applications are available nowadays that helps you to prepare your content in the presentation manner. If I am giving you, I can give you the example like Microsoft PowerPoint, Google Slides. So these some of the applications are there, many applications are there that helps you to prepare the slide to show the topics on a projector. Now the last one is the voice response. So stored voice and converted voice from the given text can be represented to users who do not want to see or read output on a monitor, projector or a printer. Means some of the users who do not want to see the output on like this physical components. So for them the voice response is also there. So in the voice response you can give either the stored voice or the converted voice as a output. Video games, automatic answering machines, alarms and signal etc. are the applications that need the voice output. So this is about the voice response. Now we will discuss the summary, means what we have discussed in this chapter. We have learned about the different input and output devices. We have seen the most popular input devices such as mouse and keyboard, and some latest devices such like joystick, card readers, scanners, and we also learned about the output devices like a monitor, printer, projector and voice response. So I hope you understood our this chapter number 3 input and output devices well. Thank you students.